sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to report.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Making sense out of the senseless, and it's not an easy task. The Jersey Takeovers here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, just go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Well, I came across something, and I'm going to have a little bit of a... Actually, I'm going to go over one quick Reaver rant. Go into an article that I found on top of it, and I do have a second Reaver rant because I'm getting sick and tired of this crap. I am tired of it. All the bitching and moaning and crying. I'm going to leave the party. I'm quitting. I don't like this. Who gives a shit? Bye. Quit your threatening and quit. Listen, I don't want to see nobody leave, but I'm sick of the crying. I don't like Trump. Well, you know what? I don't like a lot of candidates that have been put up. I didn't like Mitt Romney. I did not like McCain, but I still tried to be part of the team, voted for him. I did not like them, but I'm going to quit the party. I'm so mad. Knock the shit off. This crying from the Never Trump, Cruz supporters, and God knows how many other PACs that they've made to stop Trump. And his dumbass media spewing. Do you know how much of an idiot? How fucking stupid you look like? 2/3 of the party don't want Trump. You know what? You can add up a lot of numbers together to cherry pick your own numbers to come out what you want it to say. Do you know how easy it is? Well, here's a little logic for you, you dumbasses. 80% do not want Cruz. 80% do not want Rubio. Yes, I know Rubio dropped out. Yeah, I do understand that. You could cherry pick and make your numbers come out to whatever you want it to say. You sound like a blabbering moron when you do it. Great. You sound like CNN. You sound like Fox News. Bravo. Bravo. You're a dumbass. Come up with your own stuff. Research your own information. Because the only thing you are doing is spewing Fox News. You're spewing the GOP establishment. And you sound worse than a 4-year-old. I'm not getting my way. Wah. You know what? I don't like Cruz for the betterment of the country. Even though I know Cruz will hurt this country, I'll still vote because it's better than Hillary. I should say Cruz would hurt the country. He will hurt the party. He will hurt conservatives. He will make us look bad. But yet I'm supposed to swallow my pride and vote. But you sit there and you cry, "Ain't no what, Trump? I've been told he was a liberal, so I'm going to keep repeating it like a fucking idiot." Damn. If you knew anything, you look shit up, you would know it. Stop being spoon-fed. And this is my way of looking at it. You want to come up with all these theories about Trump? Well, here's one. 8 years ago, I complained a junior senator with a constitutional law degree. Said he was a constitutional lawyer. 8 years ago, I complained about that junior senator. Said he wasn't qualified to be president. I have seen the last 7 years what a junior senator with a law degree would do to this country. So now, what do the Republicans do like a blithering idiots? They put up a junior senator that is a constitutional lawyer. Guess what? One was far left, one is far right. They're the exact same type of people. We will get nowhere under Cruz. Nowhere. Everything will be so far right. Nothing will get done in our country. Nothing will get done in our government. And then, because the Democrats have a better PR department, they'll start screaming, "Oh, look, they're the obstructionists. I told you, they're the obstructionists. They're obstructing anything getting done in this country." And guess what? They have, as I said, the better PR department. Do you think we're going to see a conservative in the White House for a very, very long time? No. Because it's going to reinforce to the people. It's going to prove to the people they were right. The Democrats were right. The Republicans are obstructionists. So bravo, all yous that want Cruz. Bravo for the establishment. And don't tell me he's anti-government, he's anti-this. The dumbass has been working in government basically his whole life. 1 year to 2 years he worked out in a private sector. 2 years. The rest of the time, he has been on a government paycheck. That is almost a definition of being an establishment. His whole adult life has been working for the government. I don't say he's not establishment, he's anti. Bullshit, he's done dog and pony shows. That's all the hell he's done. Don't say, "I'm going to quit the party. I'm going to go live in the woods." That's what someone said last night. "I'm going to go live in the woods." Bye-bye. Go have fun. Get your banjo ready. With Cruz, it will be the same as Obama. My way or the highway. A bunch of goddamn hypocrites you are. You complained about Obama being this way, and now you want to put a conservative in there to do the exact same thing that you've been fucking complaining about, you morons. I've tried to play nice. I've tried to be, diplomatic. I try to be where I'm not insulting. Well, fuck that. Going back to Jersey Joe. If you don't like it, you can kiss my ass. Oh, and for all these supposed news personnel, the fucking talking heads on Fox, on CNN, on MSNBC, said, Trump cannot get to 1237. Yeah. I just looked at the numbers. He's at like 261 delegates ahead of Cruz. 4 years ago, Romney was ahead. 241 delegates. Yeah, doesn't guarantee he's going to win it, but the numbers are showing, yeah, he can get to it. He don't need no 60%, 63%. He's going to need over 55%. That's the funny thing. I've read so many different numbers from Fox. Guess what? He doesn't need over 50%. No, he's already over the 50% mark also. He's on the downhill slide now. His campaign manager. Well, last I heard on Fox, they showed a video that debunked the campaign manager grabbing the female reporter, that he had walked straight past her. And they had pasted it this past weekend all over the place. I think it was this weekend. So I'm tired of listening to that. I've seen so many goddamn false allegations. And what's funny is the people are too blind to fucking see that they're false allegations. Here's an allegation for you. Cruz went to a rally and had this hardcore preacher who was out there talking about how gays should be executed. And then right after that, he introduced Ted Cruz. How's that for an endorsement? Why hasn't he stepped up and denounced that? Why hasn't Hillary Clinton denounced that a KKK Grand Wizard has just endorsed her a couple days ago? You don't hear the media jumping on those. But I still hear Trump's a racist. He has endorsements from KKK members that he did not denounce. The problem is you're too damn stupid. You only listen to one fucking station. And if you had been paying attention within an hour or two of that supposed endorsement, he denounced it. But you're too fucking stupid. You want to be spoon-fed information from Fox, from CNN, from MSNBC, instead of getting off your asses and getting on the internet. It's not that damn hard, and looking your information up. I am sick and tired of this. And then the really funny one that I saw was an article. Do you remember this load of shit of back in September, and GOP and all the Republicans were freaking out saying Trump was going to go third party and it would hand the election to Hillary Clinton? Do you guys remember that shit? Yeah, that's too fucking funny. Now they're trying to say third party would not hurt their chances if they go third party. That if they put a candidate out there to run third party, it would not hurt the GOP. It will not split the vote. Oh, and when we do the math this way, it doesn't give up any candidates. You remember that shit? Guess what? I do. I remember these so-called conservatives and the so-called Republicans crying about Trump going third party, going independent, and he's going to hand the election right to Hillary. That's the plan. They planned it behind closed doors. Hillary, Bill, and Trump. And now the fucking GOP is talking about running a third party. And there is an actual article on one of these so-called Republican sites. No, a vote for a third-party candidate is not the same as a vote for Hillary. But when it was the other way around, they were running their mouth saying that. I bet you if I went through and looked through the crap that's on this website, the supposed conservative site, I would find them crying about Trump going third party. The double standard that's going on is hilarious. Let's get one thing straight for my listeners. I'm tired of hearing, well, Trump's a racist. Why? Because he said that Mexico is sending us illegal aliens that are criminals, rapists, murderers. How about yesterday when I broadcasted about 125 murders that have been committed by these illegal aliens that have been released back into the population after being convicted of crimes? Not every single immigrant, illegal immigrant coming to this country is Mexican. He never said Mexicans. There's a lot of other country nationalities that are here illegally, not just Mexican. But all of a sudden, everybody, oh, the Mexicans. And everybody, you bought into it. Shouldn't say everybody, because not everybody bought into it. There's a bunch of people backing Trump. But it's not the majority. Yeah, he's only won 18 states to Cruz's 8 states. I'm so sick of it. I'm going to go live in the woods. I still get that fucking made me laugh. The person was crying so bad on a Tea Party site, a South Florida Tea Party site, as he was living in Tennessee. And if Trump gets elected, I'm going to go live in the woods. Bye-bye, bitch. Bye-bye. Trump's a racist. No, he isn't. Every candidate now talks about, yes, we should do a momentary pause in the immigration of Muslims until we can figure out everything going on. Really? That's what the fuck Trump said. Are you that much of a moron, or are you that much of a spoon feeder that you don't realize that was Trump's idea? Want to make the country great again. That's stupid. You do know that Reagan used that slogan. Oh, Reagan used it. He was such a great person. Why can't we find another person as great as him? Several presidents have used that saying throughout the years. Not just Trump. Trump's too mad. He's too angry. Have you ever seen some of the debates with Reagan? Oh, that's different. That's different. I'm beside myself on the stupidity and the excuses that these morons come up with. I'm sick and tired of taking the high road. Speaking of low roads, Mr. John Kasich, I'm going to take the low road to the highest office in the United States. Hey, moron, the way you're going to do it, you're going to try to steal an election. You won one fucking state. Now you think you're going to win the convention. Whether it's through the brokered convention or whatever. And then, oh my God, Brandon, Republican Party, had the balls to put out an article and talk about how it's great that the people do not pick the nominee. It is not our right to pick the nominee. That it's the Republican Party's right to pick the nominee. How much of a moron do you have to be to put an article out like that? You already have people up in arms about this shit. And now you're going to put out an article on how great it is and how it's not our right to pick who the president's going to be, how it's the party's right. You really have to be tone deaf not to realize that would be moronic to put out there. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on shrmedia.com and hbpundit.com. We'll be right back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highlandsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, dude, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reverb Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show,
I don't want to be anymore.
just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And this one, it's hard today to make any sense out of the senseless, because it is stupidity is strong in a lot of these websites and these supposed Republican writers or conservative writers, whatever jackass name you want to give them. And you have one jackass, and then all of a sudden it just clicked in my head when I was reading through it during the break. His old boss is Eric Erickson. All right, so that tells you everything about this dumbass. But he goes on, it's about how a vote for a third-party candidate is not the same as a vote for Hillary. What they're trying to do is they're trying to convince people that it won't be bad and it won't hurt the election. But surprisingly, when it goes about, oh, well, Trump didn't have enough votes, that's why I heard him, yada, yada. They'll come up with every goddamn excuse they can come up with for justifying pushing everybody to get Hillary into office. And that's what these idiots are doing. That's what these people that used to work for Eric Erickson are doing. And it goes on, of one thing that pundits of marginally intellectual, I love how he does it in such a stuck-up, snooty way. He attacks people's intelligence because they do not agree or believe what this jackass is writing. Who are mostly into politics for the blood sport, like to say is that anyone who votes for a third-party candidate in November is basically voting for Hillary. Sort of like what your jackass old boss was yammering on about. He's trying to convince people into basically giving the election to Hillary. These idiots, and if you listen to any of these establishment, there's videos out there. There is articles upon articles that they don't give a shit if Hillary wins. They would rather see Hillary win so they can keep getting their money from the lobbyists. They don't care. They will get their money. Look at Biner. He didn't give a shit. TPP. He got $3 million to vote yes. That's just one vote where the figures came out. Go search for that information, and you will find these candidates. How do you think they make their millions of dollars while they're in office? Why they're willing to spend several $billion to get in a job that only pays $125,000, $150,000, $175,000 a year? And in Politico reported yesterday that our old boss, Eric Erickson, was meeting with some people in D.C. yesterday in an attempt to fire up a third-party bid as a contingency plan for a Trump nomination. These people, they are such lemmings. They don't care about the country. They don't care that the little people have been getting stepped on for years. They don't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit about you or your family. All they care about is that their money ticket stays in office. That's all they care about. As a result, our contact form inbox was flooded with angry emails from dozens of Hannity listeners, all making this point. So now he's trying to attack Hannity and his listeners. The argument, if you can call it that, listen, you ass-kissing, lying piece of crap. If you work for Eric Erickson, I wouldn't trust you to pick up my dog's shit. It just pisses me off. I'm tired of people like this. I'm tired of these boot-licking ass kissers that lie to the people in these articles, dead out lies to them, so that their little masters can still get their lobby money. I got the whole article here. I don't want to insult everybody's intelligence by spewing this crap. And if you want to, you can look it up. The title is, No, a vote for a third-party candidate is not the same as a vote for Hillary. I got more important things to go to than that fucking idiot. So, recently, we all know, anybody that follows, Chris Brown, too, has been on a bouncing around tour, if you want to call it a tour, promoting the movie, the book, but most of all, he has been promoting the truth of what happened. And it actually it hurts seeing, and I'm pretty sure he's having some fun. He gets attacked all the time, and it's disgusting. Mark and John, they get attacked all the time too by people that are just so blind and stupid. Listening to Hillary Clinton. These are the same people. Hillary Clinton said she did nothing wrong, so she did nothing wrong. Really? There's how many hundreds of thousand people sitting in a jail cell that said they didn't do anything wrong, but I don't see you standing up for them. This woman was in direct contact of why 4 men were murdered. All she had to do was get off her ass and allow the backup that was on the way. They were spinning up. They could have been there. Shortly after this happened, they could have been there and stopped everything from happening. No. Even, you know what? Even if they sent the backup and there was some people that lost their lives, I would not be bitching. No, I don't think anybody would be bitching about it. Why? Because at least they attempted to help fellow Americans. The big problem, because I was here, well, there was other embassies that have been attacked. People were killed in those embassies, and no one makes a big difference out of that. Yeah, because there was backup sent. There was backup on the way. They hung these people out to dry. They hung them out to dry. And that's just as guilty as if she pulled the trigger. And if you can't understand that, I thought lobotomies were illegal nowadays, but it seems a lot of people have gotten them. And I've always told Chris that this show is about one of the many things, but this is one main, it's about Benghazi. I will promote the truth as much as I can. He was on a show recently. Hey, Kel, how you doing? He was on a show, and they played the clip of Hillary and her recent statement that no one was lost. So let me play it for you. It's about 5 minutes long.
It is, but did they have 2 elections that were free and fair where they voted for moderates? Yes, they did. So, you know, changing from a dictator who has hollowed out your country to something resembling a functioning state and even hopefully more of a democratic one doesn't happen overnight. So, yes, I mean, Libya was a different kind of calculation, and we didn't lose a single person.
All right. I don't know what on earth the woman is talking about. I'm going to be nice. I like to keep my job, okay? Joining us now is Chris Tanto Paranto. He's back, former Ranger with the 2nd Battalion, 75th Regiment, hero of the Benghazi attack, and in the character in the book 13 Hours, the film, the book, the great movie 13 Hours. Chris, what the heck is she talking about to sit there and say we didn't lose anybody in Libya?
Yeah, obviously, when I saw that, what it showed me was that verified that she didn't care. She didn't care about who died there. She didn't care what was going on there. Who, if she actually cared, I think, like in my head, you would be thinking of Ty Woods every day. You'd be thinking of Glenn Doherty every day. You'd be thinking of Ambassador Stevens and Sean Smith every day. You've been thinking of Pat Smith, Sean Smith's mom, Charles Woods, Katie Quigley. Those are the family members of Glenn and Ty as well. Completely disrespectful, but also it verified to me that I don't know how much more you can verify that she's dishonest, that she is a liar. That's what she is. I can't sugarcoat it any more than that. I know people are not going to be people that are going to be upset that I'm saying that, but it can't go any more than black and white than that. And also to say that Libya is a moderate or has some sort of democracy. Yeah. No, it's a failed state. It's controlled by ISIS. I think people miss that as well. So there's 2 statements that were incorrect. in that what was that 30-second period?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous to me, and it's still ridiculous to me that people are still voting for. And actually, I haven't endorsed a candidate. I'm not going to endorse a candidate, not right now. But I definitely am not going to vote for Hillary Clinton.
No, if you voted for Hillary Clinton, I think the world would stop spinning on its axis. Let me ask you this. Here's another thing. You know, you talk about his mom, and she's been on, and she's the most emotional of them all.
Pat,
and we've had her on. But every one of the parents of the three who were dead, not including the ambassador, who's 4, in Benghazi, when those flag-draped coffins came home, Hillary, every one of the family members, or one member from each of the families, said Hillary shook their hand, looked him in the eye, and said, "We're going to get the guy who made the video." Hillary was asked by George Stephanopoulos, are they telling the truth? And she said no. So she has called them all liars.
And all it does to me is it angers me. She can call me a liar, which we have been called liars by people that represent her or that support her. That's fine. But when you're calling it,
and right there, I want to stop it real quick because Chris talks about how it's okay to call him a liar and so forth. Him and the guys are trying to put the weight of all this on their shoulders. Yeah, they are strong enough to do it. But you know what? You got thousands upon thousands of people that are willing to help take that weight. And you know what? I do not like it when they call them liars. Because you got a bunch of fucking politicians sitting behind a desk, nice and comfy and safe behind their guards, calling the men that were on the ground putting their life on dangers liars. How stupid, how retarded do you have to be to be calling them liars? You're a politician. That's what you do. It pisses me off. I would no sooner spit in the face of Hillary Clinton than vote for her. And that's why I would rather vote for Ted Cruz than that piece of shit of a person who stood by and did nothing as 4 Americans were killed. That is the same as if she pulled the fucking trigger herself. And these idiots that are still backing her. You must have gotten a lobotomy or just been dropped on your head one too many goddamn times. You believe someone that was thousands of miles away from where the action and the reality was going, behind safe guards, armed guards? Well, that's a special kind of stupid where I come from.
when you're calling the family members liars, these people that I've seen and seen what it's done to them, from me talking to Pat Smith, me talking to Katie Quigley, to Ty Wood's mom. She doesn't want to be named. She doesn't come out that often, but and seeing how they have their lives have slowly deteriorated because of what took place in Benghazi, and because they're being called liars when they know what was said. What do they have to gain by saying what was told to them when the coffins came in? They have nothing to gain from it. All this is doing is putting more stress on their lives, and it shows, again, a complete lack of respect for what their sons gave for their country, and it shows a lack of respect to them themselves.
You know, again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
go ahead, Steve.
I was going to just say, you know, she keeps saying she testified for 11 hours. That's her answer to everything, whether it's the email, which has nothing to do with her testimony, basically, or anything else. I testified for 11 hours, and even the Republicans admit nothing new came. Well, that is such a bunch of baloney, because at the very least, we found out that she emailed Chelsea that it was a terrorist attack. And then she emailed that also to the president of Egypt and somewhere and another head of state. And she told all of us that it was a video.
It's complete preposterousness. Can I say that? Ranger has a hard time saying big words. I'm sorry about that.
Preposterous.
Preposterous. Yeah, I'll spell it. I can spell it, I think. But it's completely incorrect. See how I use that? I have my thesaurus. I'm sitting down here with it. But it does bother me. Jokes aside and on, and people that have seen the movie know that Tano's a jokester, even when I'm faced with situations that are maybe would make other people run away. I like the joke, but I use it as a defense mechanism, especially when I get angry. And obviously I am angry because of the things that she said. And she cannot, I don't think she has any clue of what it's doing to the family members.
Well, let me ask you, Tonto, we got 30 seconds. So you haven't endorsed anybody, but if it's her as the Democrat, will you campaign against her?
Definitely. No, there's no doubt
and
about it.
And will the others campaign against her that you know of?
You know, they already are. They do. Mark and Tig actually have endorsed Donald Trump. And of course, Donald. So of course we will.
Gotcha.
And that's just from fact, brother.
Tonto, thank you very much. I look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
And that was Tonto talking. And like he said, and there was a big dust up over the whole thing. Mark and John have endorsed Trump, which is their constitutional right to endorse whoever the fuck they want. And I'm sick and tired of people attacking, and I don't care if it's Trump fans attacking people for backing Cruz. You're a dumbass. Stop attacking people for doing their constitutional right. Everybody's screaming they want their constitutional right upheld, but then they step all over everybody else's. I can respect that Tonto, Chris, has not endorsed anyone. I could respect that. That's his right. That's his right. But I'll tell you, it doesn't matter who is nominated for president. They don't have the support. The three guys right there from Hillary. They will not back that woman. And I will be on this show if I have to every day just talking about what Hillary did to get it through people's heads. All right, I'm late for a break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on hppundit.com and rebootingliberty.com. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highlandsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, dude, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reverb Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show.
I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there anymore.
Just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
Welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. I am trying to make sense out of the senseless, and it is an everlasting fight. Remember, the Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to become part of the conversation, go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to watch a live stream, go to Reaver.one. That is Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. There you go. We make it as easy as possible. Even a liberal can do it. So, Chuck Schumer had a few things to say. And surprisingly, I've been saying this shortly after a Supreme Court vacancy came about. The GOP will crack, have hearings, and vote on Obama's Supreme Court pick. Wednesday, MSNBC, while discussing President Obama's nomination for Judge Merrick Garland to fill the vacancy on the Supreme Court left by the late Justice Scalia, Chuck Schumer said despite the Republican Senate leadership insisting they won't be giving Garland a hearing, they will crack and have a hearing and a vote. Schumer said, well, we've seen the ice beginning to crack, Chris. Today, 6 Republican senators said they will meet with Judge Garland, including Senator Kelly Ayetta. Whatever. If I butcher your name, oh well. Before today, no one was going to meet with him. That's the first step. And I think the pressure is going to be so large, these people go home, and there are people outside all their meetings holding up signs saying, do your job, and they don't have any good answer as to why not. If they want to hear the person and give a very convincing reason to vote no, that's one thing. Saying I won't even talk to the person every single week, the poll numbers have gone up and up and up. So the way this is going to happen is not McConnell giving in first. He always gives into the hard right who wants nothing better than to have a hard right Supreme Court. That's their number one goal. But either Chuck Grassley, a chairman of Judiciary, who are getting a lot of their heat back home, not just from their editorial page, from a lot of Republican leaders have said this, and they will crack. And I think the likelihood is we will have a hearing and a vote. I can't predict how this outcome will be, but you know these hearings are sort of magical. If the nominee comes off very well, they get appointed and confirmed, and we had that. 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, the last 4 justices on the court. 2 by a Democrat, 2 by a Republican, both approved by bipartisan majorities. The hard rights approve that once these are hearings, and a guy like Garland will get on. But I believe there are going to be hearings. And there's one other point, Chris, that is this. Now that Trump looks like the front runner, a lot of people are going to say, I don't want Donald Trump choosing my nominee. Let's go with this guy. I think Republicans might say that. Well, you know what? I agree with them. I think as past president of the last 7 years, the Republicans are going to lay down and give up. They are going to give in to the Democrats, and that's what they do. That's what McConnell does. He gives in. They have done it time and time and time and time again. So what makes anybody think that they are not going to give in? What makes people think that they're going to hold their ground till after January? Who thinks that they're going to be able to hold off 9 months? They will give in. And you know what? The moment they give in, it's going to piss off even more people that are already pissed off at our government. And I'm tired of fucking hearing, see, it's emotional. They don't have a sense. They don't know what they're doing. They're just so emotional. Yeah, so were many people pissed off when they've revolted against their country. When the French people cut off the king's head. Time and time again, right now, yes, we are pissed off. And we are revolting with our vote. And you better watch what you say, because it could be the spark that sets off the powder keg. No, this is not a veiled threat. I am not threatening the GOP. I am saying people are tired of this bullcrap. And you're too stupid, too arrogant. Your egos are too goddamn big for you to see that the people are tired of your shit. You think just because you have money, you own everything. You think you own us. Fox thought they had control of all of us and they could tell us what to think. Well, they learned real quick 50% of us will not give in. 50% of us are tired of this bullshit. But you will see the GOP give in. That I am sure of, because that is what they have done for the last 7 years. They have given in to Obama the last 7 years. And the people that will finally wake up when they give in won't be running to Cruz. That I am sure of. Cruz is just as much an established member as Biner. He has put up a lot of dog and pony shows, and look at me, I'm standing up against the establishment that haven't done diddly. They were well calculated, planned showings that wouldn't hurt them, but would try to make them look good. They will fold. And as Schumer said, it's already happening. GOP senators say they will meet with Obama's Supreme Court pick. A small group of U.S. senators say they will meet with President Obama's nominee to the Supreme Court, Merrick Garland. As we discussed in the previous article, a Senator Kelly, whatever her last name is, Senator Jeff Flake, Susan Collins have all agreed to have a meeting with Garland, reports Politico. Dang, sorry about that. Kelly, who is running in a tight re-election race against incumbent New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan, said that she would meet with Garland to explain to him that she opposes any nominations during the 2016 presidential race, prior to Obama actually naming his choice to take the seat of recently deceased Scolari. Kelly said she would not meet with the president's nominee, but she's having a meeting with him just so she could tell him that she is not going to allow a vote to be taken on the opening on Supreme Court. I think she just did that without having a meeting with him. So it's just a dog and pony show with her. Look, I'm going to have a meeting. I'm going to have a meeting. But I'm just going to tell him that we're not going to vote. And now they don't want him running or him as the nominee. So, but I have to have a meeting with him to tell that. No, she's going to go in there and they're going to have a discussion. She is willing to bend over figuratively for the Democrats and the nominee. Same with Jeff. Same with Susan. They're all going in there for that purpose. He is a current appeals court judge, and out of courtesy and respect, we will certainly meet with him if he would like to meet with me, Kelly said. I would want to explain my position to the nominee. I would want to give him that courtesy. You already have. Everybody has let it be known. He knew when he was made the nominee this was going on. So why do you have to have a meeting? You're coming up with an excuse to have a meeting with him. You are feeding the public bullshit and telling them it's a stake. Kelly has positioned herself politically as a Republican who is open to compromise. She called out conservative Ted Cruz for demanding the defunding of Planned Parenthood and the omnibus spending bill, and also openly supported President Obama's clean energy plan. And she is not going to give in. Yeah. Flake, who sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee, also said he would meet with Garland. All 11 members of the Senate Judiciary Committee sent a letter last month to Senate Majority Leader McConnell, informing him they will not hold any hearings on Obama's eventual nominees to take Scolari's seat. So Flake, who sits on that committee, who's not going to hold any hearings, but he's going to hold a meeting with the nominee. And people think they're not going to give in to Obama. Seriously, people, you actually believe this? You actually believe the Republicans? This is the bullcrap we are tired of. That, and when you have pieces written and you tell how we do not vote, how we are not responsible for nominating. It is not our place. It is the place of the delegates. And if it was the other way around, we wouldn't need delegates. Really? Because you want all these millions of people showing up to these conventions and casting their vote in person? No, that's not the way it works. You have one person that stands up and says, this is what they want. This is who I'm casting my vote for. You do not have the right to be telling us who we want. And now they're trying to justify them picking who they've picked and pushed us in a certain directions for years on who they want. Now we're revolting against it. They don't like it. So now they're trying to tell us that we've never had the choice. If it is true, why are they wasting the millions of fucking dollars to do the whole primary? If we do not have a say in it, why are they wasting all of their money when it's their decision? Tell me. Tell me why you go through all this if it is your decision and not ours, you dumbasses. Why? Because it is our decisions. We vote. You take out the popularity of what the majority picks, and then you go and prounce your little ass like a little ballerina, and you do what the people say. It is not your place. It is not your place to pick who is the nominee. That is the people's place. And Republicans want to sit there, and this is what I'm getting sick and tired of. I'm getting sick and tired of the Republicans screaming about the Constitution. And then they pull crap like this. You are no better than the Democrat Party. When you pull crap like that, you are no better. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with the host, Jersey Joe. And I'm one pissed off Jersey boy right now. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on shrmedia.com and hppundit.com. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show.
I don't want to be me. I don't want to be anymore.
Just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense, where I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to be a part of the conversation, just go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversation. What's up, Dave? If you want to watch a live stream, just go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream button. We cannot make it any easier unless we showed up and pushed the buttons ourselves. Roger Stone, Trump will sweep next state races. Close to impossible for Cruz to stop him. Political operative Roger Stone told Bret Baier News Daily host Stephen Bannon Wednesday morning that he expects Donald Trump to sweep upcoming primary contests after big wins in Florida, Missouri, and other states, and stopping him may be almost impossible. Oh, I totally disagree with what he's saying. I am a Trump supporter, but nothing is impossible and anything can happen. Now I'm going to do more on it tomorrow because I want to research the article. Something was sent to me during the break that Cruz's officials are in negotiation with Trump that he will drop out and support him if Cruz is the vice president. I have to look into it. Don't quote me. I need to look further into that. Back in the beginning of the primaries, that is what I said would have been a great ticket. Trump and Cruz. You have the best of both worlds. That would be definitely a good ticket, in my opinion. Now, whether that's true or not, I have to look further into it. There's a lot of articles written on a little breeze blowing in people's ear, and they jump all over it and write articles. That's why I was given the warning. I have to look into it. But going back to Roger Stone, but by my calculation, Trump now needs about 500 delegates. Hey, Dave, it was a repeat last night. You didn't miss anything. Talking about the sackheads last night. For whatever reason, they could not be on last night, which is kind of strange. And he needs less than 50% of the delegates to secure the nomination. Then to show you, the current tally, he's at 673, which if you do the math, which I'm not good at doing in my head, you need carry the 2 divided by 3. He needs 594. 594 to lock up the nomination. Halfway point was 618. So he is past 50% at this point. So I don't agree with everything, but I do agree that the upcoming calendar is moving into some of Trump's strongest states. He's going to be going into Arizona, New York, where that one I would say there is no chance in hell for Cruz to win after his New York values comments. Pennsylvania, again, New York value comment. Indiana, West Virginia, and New Jersey. New Jersey, especially with the New York comment. That whole tri-state area, as I explained, is one big brother and sister. The three of them are. And when you insult one, you're insulting all of them. They account for about 366 delegates of the 946 left to be selected. So Trump needs about 150 votes of the 508 proportional delegates left to put him over the top. He is very, very close to being able to pull this off. Stone warned, however, that trouble for Trump could come with some of the machinists of the Republican National Committee. The unbinding of delegates on the first ballot, monkey business about whether California is winner take all. He said Cruz has very little chance to stop Trump. It is very, very close to impossible. Cruz can only tinker at the margins. That is, I do not agree with those statements. I am just reading the article. Again, a lot of times I am reading articles, giving information from articles. It is not always my point. I will give opposing views besides the views I agree with. And I don't agree with this one, and I don't agree with Roger Strong that it is close to impossible. No, there's a lot of things that goddamn go wrong, and it's not hard. One trip up, and nobody knows what exactly it is, but it could be one trip up that he can lose a majority of his support. And don't tell me with the Rubio case, yes, the polls have been out, and 47% say they will back Cruz. But 47% isn't that large of a number, because you still have 53% that are going elsewhere. So you can't count that because Rubio is out, this is going to push Cruz above. And I've said that from the very start when everybody kept saying, well, when this person drops out, all the votes are going to go to Jeb Bush, and Jeb Bush is just going to go flying past Trump. I said, no, he isn't. No, it isn't. What happened? That person dropped out, and everybody across the spectrum jumped up equally. Well, maybe not equal, but you get my point. And then he said, well, Jeb Bush is going to drop out, and that's going to push Rubio right past Cruz and right past Trump. Jeb Bush dropped out. Pretty much everybody across the board went up. You're going to see the same thing with Rubio dropping out. You're going to see them move up. All of them. They've been saying all that for one reason. Not because they knew it was going to do it. Because it's a psychological move. If I tell you that's what's going to happen, you're more apt to go along with what I just said than to think on your own and go back to your original choice. You're more apt to go along with the rest of the pack than to go out and vote on your own. If someone sits there and says, oh, well, all the Rubio people are going to go and back up Cruz. It's a psychological. Do I expect them not to do it? No. Do I think it's funny they're doing it and people are buying in? Yep. Very funny. Roger Stone goes on, and not even Cruz's superior political operation can overcome Trump's message. The fact that he is winning these states and winning them big in most cases, with the exception of Missouri, is a testimony to the strength of the message rather than the Trump operation. Stone said the only chance to unseat Trump is on a late ballot if they can stall him just short of 1237 on the first ballot, which gets less likely every single time we have a primary. And again, if these delegates go off on their own and do their own thing, it will not bode well for the Republicans. For them spewing the people don't pick. Why do we have delegates if we did that? Well, why do we hold elections then? if you are the one that does the picking. You pick who we tell you to pick. And they're putting those articles and making those statements to try to deflate. They are trying to deflate the people, trying to get them just to give in and vote for who they want. And I don't know if, because I know you're having a conversation, Dave, but I don't agree with this article. I don't. Do I think he's on the path? Yes, I do think Trump's on the path to getting that ballot and making that 1237. Do I think it's a slam dunk? Hell no. Oh, okay. Now, sorry, I'm looking at the chat room and discussing about you're talking about the nominee the delegates choose. And exactly, if the delegates go off the rails, and I was getting ready to say that, Dave, and I know we don't agree on nominees, but my question is, with their statement to show how little they thought it out, if they do not go by what we vote on, if they don't pick who the popular vote is, if they choose it, why do we have elections? Because the statement, well, why do we have delegates? We wouldn't need delegates. We need delegates during the presidential election. Or are you going to say that we don't pick the president either? That you do? They're trying to do a psychological, get people to give in and vote for who they say. Don't buy, because I have my mom call me up. Holy shit, what about this? What about this? And I'm just like, Mom, stop. They're playing a psychological game, and they're trying to get you to give in. They're trying to get you to give in to vote with them. And then she'll stop and think about it and go, holy shit, you're right. I fell for it. So many people do that. Wake up. If you want to vote for Cruz, and I've said it for a while now, I do not care who you vote for. I don't like Cruz. I don't think he's the right person for president. That's my opinion. That is my opinion. That is my choice not to like Cruz. Dave is a Cruz supporter. That is his right. I've never gone at him for his choice because it's his constitutional right. The GOP is scared shitless right now. They're scared shitless because they're losing control of what they've had. These establishment members, the ones that pull the strings, they're in danger of losing money. And same on the Democrat side, because they know, because now I'm going to go by my side. With Trump, that gravy train stops. Across the board, it stops. And politicians are going to lose millions upon millions of dollars. And they don't like that. This crap of the people do not. And the Democrats, Dave, they have it worse. With these super delegates that vote for whoever the hell they want. And then to hear Harry Reid, that old bat, because 2 of the states, it's a majority whites. We don't want whites picking our next president. I'm sick and tired of that fucking goddamn crap, racist crap. Anybody else tired of it besides me? I'm sick and goddamn tired of this shit. We need a revamp from top to bottom, all of our politicians, top to bottom. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, me, Jersey Joe, right here on hppundit.com and almost said rebootingliberty.com, but that page is down right now. I don't know what's going on. But you're listening on shrmedia.com. We'll be back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, dude.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reverb Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show,
I don't want to be
just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to HR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Playing around with the green screen, not paying attention to what the hell I'm doing. All right. Welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am trying to make sense out of the senseless. And today, it's one of those days where it's a headache day. I can tell it already. The fight is going on. I was telling Kel last night I had a kind of a moment where I thought back and kind of realized I was fading away from who I am. I was more worried about, kind of like AM radio station contacting me and I need to watch what I say, to have them look at me because I had that one big station out in Arizona to look at me. And I was more worried about that than just being myself. And it kind of pissed me off that I did that. That I didn't sell out, but I kind of faded to who I am and what I originally did with this show that made it popular and made me who I was. And yeah, that's why I am back. I'm pissed off at myself, and I'm getting back to who I was. I'm tired of sugarcoating crap and not playing nice while everybody else does whatever they want. I'm going back to being who the fuck I am. And yes, Dave put up and Kel put up in the chat room, they're talking about how the House just recently voted on making ISIS or accusing ISIS of committing acts of genocide, and how that has important ramification under international laws. And Dave, the unpleasant guy, made a great point that Obama will probably veto all this anyway. And when he does that, everybody within the SHR and HP pundit and many others will be jumping all over that like flies on rice. Actually, flies on shit. It should have been done a long time ago. They should have been labeled terrorist group. They should have been labeled shoot on sight, and that they're committing great acts of genocide. And I will be right there along everybody, jumping all over Obama's shit if he does not sign off or whatever the hell he has to do to agree that ISIS is a genocide group. Now we're starting to hear also out of the House, speaking of the House, Speaker Paul Ryan, after having Biner saying he throws his support behind Paul Ryan for president. Now it's coming out that Ryan suggests he may reach for the nomination in a contested convention. Paul Ryan suggested Tuesday night that he could reach for the Republican presidential nomination during a contested convention in Cleveland. You know, I haven't given any thought to this stuff. Ryan, yeah, bullshit. People say, what about the contested convention? I say, well, there is a lot of people running for president. We will see. Who knows? How about this? How about you prove that you're worth something as Speaker of the House, and then in another 4 years, then you run for president. Don't try to be a backdoor bitch and try to get the nomination for president that way. Dave's in there saying bugger that, and I'm saying don't be a backdoor bitch. He's trying to do it the pussy way, and I'm gonna take the nomination. You know what? Screw you. I would have honor and say no. I don't want it that way. If I want to run for president, I will stand up and run. I'm not gonna sit here and hide behind everything and wait for the convention to come and hope that it goes to a contested convention or broker convention, and I'll accept it that way. I'd be like, no, I am not a pussy. I am not accepting that kind of nomination. And the way the political landscape is with the people, if someone gets the nomination through a contested convention, the Republicans might as well put a close sign on their door because they're not going to win. I like that one, Dave. It's like saying that mom is paying the head cheerleader to go with you to the prom. They are so scared they're coming up with some of the most stupid ideas. And they just keep hurting themselves. They keep digging that hole deeper for people being pissed off against the GOP. And I said months and months and months and months and months and months ago, Anybody wants to talk to Sackhead Sean? I said the only thing that's going to fix the problems that we have in this country is we need to break off into at least 3-4 parties in this country. Even the Democrats are going to have to split up sooner or later with what's going on. There's too many people, and they all can't agree on the same thing. Dave the Blind Guy. Confucius says, when in hole, stop digging. There's too many people, and trying to get that many people to agree on everything is next to impossible. That's the other reason I think we need to break off into other parties. And same with the Democrats. Because there is a lot of Democrats, and it's being shown that people are tired. They do not like this progressive socialist Democratic Party that is coming about, and they are walking away from it. And they're coming to the Republican Party, and they are not going to fit in with the hardcore right. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the hardcore right or the hardcore left. I don't agree with everything there. But none of us are going to get along in the way things are in a two-party system. But back to the article. Ryan acknowledged that people are talking to him about how he could get the nomination at a broker convention where unpledged delegates can ignore the results of the state primaries once the first convention ballot is taken. And that's the thing. I've read through this extensively. After the first round of ballots, that's when these delegates can start going off on their own. So the shit of they don't have to answer to us, that is wrong. First round, it is. And it depends on the state and what the rules are set up. Some states, they have to stay with the people's choice all the way until after the third round of voting. That is where they have the right then to start going off on their own. And I kind of agree at that point they have to start looking at different, because if not, if they have to say the same delegates, what's the point of voting over and over and over and over and over again if everybody's going to vote the same way? It would still be trying to vote on several elections from decades ago. But I do agree. Let's say for the sake of argument, Trump walks in and he's at 1,200. First ballot, I can see it going by nothing. Second ballot, that's where it should be. You know what? He is 37 delegates short. That is close to the majority, or 50 plus 1%. Now, I'm not saying if he's 100, 150, 200 short. I'm talking under 100, well under 100. But the shit of the convention, the brokered convention, and what the hell is this? Contested convention. All they're doing is pissing people off. That's all they're doing. They're pissing their base off. They think they're scaring these people into jumping in line. But all they're doing is pissing more people off and pushing them away and away from the establishment's rule. So before they go opening their mouths, they really need to think what they're going to say. I'm going to change up to some international news. Also, Dave, Cal, I'm sorry. I changed up my exit music. I have worried about, it's the whole copyright thing. So I changed it up. And I'm just right around 32 seconds, but I think you'll like the new choice. I think you'll like it. Oh, I kept getting a copyright email sent to me from YouTube. I think you'll like this one. I think you'll like this one. Give it a shot. I still have the other one. I may go back to it, but right now I'm just tired of getting into him emails. Copyright infringement. And I'm yeah, that's why I tried to knock it down. I'm at like 32 seconds. And the one that I was getting banned in is Germany. That's the only country that has me banned on my live stream through YouTube is Germany. So I'm now starting to get someone clicked about my intro, so I'm gonna have to mess with that again. But I was bored last night, and I think you guys will like this. I mean, Dave, you've heard my taste in music, and so far you haven't been disappointed on it. I think you'll like this one. But the Toronto knife attacker. On Tuesday morning, Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders identified the man who attacked a Canadian Air Armed Force Recruiting Center on Monday as a really screwed up alphabet soup Middle Eastern name. According to Sanders, during the attack, the attacker shouted, "Allah told me to do this. Allah told me to come here and kill people." Oh, sorry. I know I don't have it that down pat. And I was listening to something last night, and I've said it before. I do not think all Muslims are evil. I don't think all Muslims are out to do harm to the world. And I bashed them for being silent. But I was listening to someone, and it's the one that made me really look at myself and the way I do my show, and woke me up to that I've started to mellow out and change my show to fit in. But the one thing that he had said was, and it made sense, those that don't agree really can't speak out, because if they do speak out, they would be put on the hit list before even Americans. They would be killed faster than Americans, because at that point they are looked upon as traitors. So I can't fault them for wanting to stay alive, for doing what they have to do to stay alive. I would do the same thing if that was the choice. And it really put my family at risk. I would have to even then, Dave, it's still of risk. And when it comes to family, I don't know. Because if it wasn't, then it's not a negative. If I didn't have my family, I would have been out there in Texas. I would have been out there in Bend, Oregon. But I couldn't do it because I couldn't take the risk of getting arrested or take the risk of something happening. And then my daughter doesn't have anybody. I know that may sound cowardly to some, but my family always comes first. My daughter comes before everything else. And that's why I think some of these people are doing, and I've said for a while, I don't lump all of them together because I don't like to be lumped together with other things that go on. But I just wanted to put that out there and explain, because that guy put it the best way. Just they would be put on a hit list so fast and killed quicker than we would. That's the thing. You know what? If I think people agree 100%, there's something wrong. People should have different ways of thinking and not agree on everything. That's what makes advancements. People with different eyes coming together to create a better idea. I mean, that's why I put it on Kel's page when she said that she was doing all the producing. I asked her, where's her opinion on my show, where I'm weak at? I wasn't trying to be a smart ass. I was honestly asking where she thought I was weak. Because learning about your weaknesses, you can improve. If you have strengths of a show, well, it's hard to improve on strengths. If you have weaknesses, that's where you improve. And if you have differences in ideas, that's where you can come together and make a better idea. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with your host, Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and hppundit.com. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and hyphensdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Kaepernick, stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show.
I don't want to be me. I don't want to be me anymore.
Just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense with your host, Jersey Joe. Trying to make sense out of the senseless, and it is not easy at all. I don't understand it. If you want to support your candidate, support your candidate. Why do people feel the need to attack other people for their constitutional right? Then call yourself a constitutionalist. How do you do that? How do you attack someone and insult and try to intimidate him through insults and so forth, and then call yourself a constitutionalist? That is the exact same shit that we complained about the liberals doing. Oh my God. And I know there's a lot of people doing it. Doesn't make it a right. Fucking morons. Oh. You don't like Trump? Good. Move along. You don't like Cruz? Move along. You want to discuss politics? Discuss politics. You don't like someone's... Yeah, I've said that many of times. I've always said that. It is attacks from both sides. And I'm sick of it. And I've been and I will continue to call people out on their bullshit. It is an absolute joke. How can you call yourself, though, a constitutionalist when you attack somebody for using their constitutional right to pick a candidate they want, to use free speech, but then you attack them for it? You want to have a conversation and say you don't like the candidate? Go ahead. You think the candidate's weak here and here and here? Go ahead. But to insult, I sit there and I laugh at you because it shows how weak you are, that you can't have the conversation. And I said it last night. Those that have to scream that they're conservative, that they're constitutionalists, you know what? And that's Dave, you know what? I have the same thing with the Cruz. If I lose Cruz listeners, who gives a fuck? I'm tired of it. I'm not out to lose anybody, but I'm not going to curtail and give up my constitutional rights. And if I lose some listeners, oh well. I agree. They're welcome my audience too. I welcome anybody that wants to listen and have a conversation. I mean, me and you, we've gone back and forth, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sick of the other bullshit. Piss off. If you can't act, but if you got to scream that you're a constitutionalist and you're the strict conservative, I'm a constitutionalist. Are you trying to convince me or yourself? And that's what I've learned through my 44 years of experience. If you have to scream that you're a constitution or scream that you're something and tell everybody you're something, you're not trying to convince the other people. You're worried because people see the failures of what you're trying to do. Plain and simple. So if you think you're a constitutionalist, try acting it. Try giving everybody the right to their free speech. The right to pick their candidate. Knock it off. Whether you're Trump, Cruz, Hillary, Bernie, Kasich, I don't give a shit. But what are these hardcore morons going to do? And I'm not talking you, Dave, I'm talking like the ones that I have been outing on my show. What are you going to do with the article that I just got if it's true? What would you do if all of a sudden Cruz says, you know what? Me and Trump were battling each other and we're going to knock each other out of the race, and then the establishment's going to come in and name somebody else. I'm stepping out. And then Trump says, he's my vice president. What is everybody going to do that has been bashing each other when all of a sudden those two team up? What are you going to do? Are you going to suddenly start attacking your candidate because they jumped on board with Trump? Are you going to bash Trump because he took on Cruz? Personally, I've said it way back after they announced. I said that would be the perfect ticket. Trump, Cruz. That would be the perfect ticket. Because Trump's going to bring in the moderates. He's going to bring in the Democrats that are sick of what's going on. They're going to jump ship. He's going to bring in the independents. And then you're going to have Cruz bringing in the conservatives, the strong conservatives. What's everybody going to do that's been bashing each other? And like I'm going to do some research and come back on that article because it could be just the wind blew up somebody's leg and they got a little excited about something they heard from a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, uncle's brother's roommate's sister. And a lot of times that's the way this shit goes. It could be not true. You know, Cruz is going to deny that right now. Whether it's true or not, he's going to deny it. And I would too. I would not want to show my hand until I was ready to announce it. And that would put the numbers very close. You wait till you get through the 22nd voting, and there's 90 votes right there. And if you combined the two there and that 90, that would they would still need a couple more, but they're very close to the 1237. Simple. But what are all these people going to do if that happens? Because I'm going to laugh at the people that have been bashing everybody, and then all of a sudden they want to jump on the bandwagon. Screw that. And this guy in Canada, on Canada's National Post, reports the police suspect a terror link based on these comments, which confirm reports from Monday evening that the attacker yelled something about Allah during his assault. Now, what is their great prime minister going to do? We're going to start a letter writing campaign against ISIS. We're going to stop attacking them. You're going to stop attacking. You notify them, and you're going to bring in more of these Muslims. And what do they do to you, Canada? They literally stick a knife in you. Trudeau, they're already laughing at you and telling you your way is not going to work. That's what I don't understand when you have leaders like Trudeau and you have Obama, and they laugh in your face, and you still hold fast to your ideology, if you want to call it ideology. This guy stuck a knife, literally, and Canadians. When you said we're going to stop attacking ISIS, we're going to start a letter writing campaign. Oh my God! Some heard him say praise Allah, and other heard Allah or Ali. Several heard the man use this terminology. It's not something you take a chance on, and this is why the call was made to the police agency who handles terror issues. No, Dave. No. Not Cuba. Venezuela. Venezuela is where Trudeau and Obama should go get a little love shack, and then they can become the supreme leader of Venezuela. as they bend each other over every night and have fun. So sources further informed The Sun on Monday night that the suspect appears to be of Middle Eastern descent and was presenting himself as if he is a Muslim. The National Post quotes Public Safety Minister Goodale saying that the attack appears to have been an isolated incident and there is no imminent threat to public safety. Well, that's the problem. They've shifted for now, their attacks into these little attacks like this. And I don't want to say low because it's big to the families that were affected by it. But in the grand scheme of things, they're going to do these little attacks and these little insulated incidents and cause mass panic, and they're sitting back and laughing. Because they're going to get everybody desensitized to these little attacks and thinking that's all they are capable of. And then that's when they come in and do some large-scale attacks. And then they back away and start doing these little attacks. Well, it's that time of the show. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoy my new exit music. But you've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on hppundit.com and Rebooting Liberty. See you tomorrow. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.